Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to use RevMob for banner ads, full screen ads and a more pop-up game ad using our Sonar Cocos helper. We assume that you've set up the Sonar Cocos helper for iOS. If you haven't, don't worry, we have a separate video covering that. We also have a separate video covering RevMob for Android as well if you're interested in that. So first of all, you want to go to RevMob, create a free account. Once you're signed in, you want to go to the monetization section, scroll down. At the bottom, we've got a few buttons. You want to select add iOS app, put a media name. This is just whatever you want to call it on RevMob, so it can be whatever you want. So I want to call it tutorial RevMob iOS, and then enable minimum bid. Leave this alone unless you know what you're doing. Optional content types, if your app has any religious content and or dating content, then check it. If not, just leave them blank. And for testing mode, just make sure you read this carefully. Make sure to leave testing mode on when testing if you successfully integrated RevMob's SDK into your apps. Otherwise our system may end up blocking you. And what that means is turn testing mode on, aka this, while you're testing. And the reason is if they start detecting impressions and clicks and so forth that look a little dodgy, they will ban your account, and it's not something to take lightly. It's not RevMob, it's all the ad networks that we've used, whether it's Google, Chartboost, RevMob. They will all ban you if they see anything suspicious. So just be careful. Little warning: when you actually publish your game, make sure you turn it off because you want to actually earn revenue and get real ads. So you want to do on with ads while testing, and on without ads allows you to simulate what would happen in test mode if RevMob can't provide an ad, so we wouldn't display an ad. So if you want to do that, you can select this, but for the purpose of this video, on with ads is a-okay. So click add. Now we've created this. The only last thing we're going to need from this is the media ID, which we'll get in a moment. Now let's go ahead and open up our Xcode project. We need to add the RevMob ads framework, so go to external Cocos helper frameworks, extract RevMob, and copy and paste this RevMob ads SDK, RevMob ads.framework into iOS. Open up Xcode. So where it says iOS, you want to drag and drop the file that you copy and pasted into iOS like so. Make sure everything is selected as I have it. So copy items if needed isn't selected, create groups, and for target just select iOS, click finish. And now the next step is to go on to SCH settings.h, and in here you need to enable RevMob, so just set this to true. Next to it we have a comment stating all the other frameworks that we need to add. We'll do that in a moment. And finally in here we need to add the media ID, which is right here. So copy and paste that. Just make sure you have no white space at the start or the end of your media ID. Go to your root project, go to build phases, link binary with libraries, scroll down, click add. And we want to add the system configuration .framework. Next we want to add storekit.framework. After that we want to add media player.framework. Now finally we need add support.framework. We actually have RevMob set up now. We can actually display ads. So let's go to our scene. And what I want to do is by default, or when the scene launches, display an ad banner. So Sonar Cocos helper : RevMob : show banner ad. And what I also want is when I click the button to hide the banner ad. So Sonar Cocos helper RevMob hide banner ad, and I know that the ad banner is going to cover the close item, which is the hide banner button. So I'm just gonna reposition this, but again this is just specific to my project. So let's run this in a simulator. There are two other functions as well, which is to display a full screen ad and to display the more pop-up which we'll show you in a second. So we have our ad. So if I were to click on it, download a free game, it shows RevMob testing mode activated, test successful, in production mode. The click in the ad will be redirected to the market. So if I click this button right here, it now hides the ad. So the next thing that we want to show you is Sonar Cocos helper RevMob show full screen ad. And then when I click the button, we'll get a full screen interstitial ad. So let's click the button. There you go, we have a full screen ad, and if I click here, get the same thing, RevMob testing mode activated, otherwise it would actually take you to the marketplace. And finally, we're going to show you the more pop-up. So for the Sonar Cocos helper RevMob show pop-up ad run. Generally you only want to use show pop-up ad if you know your user has a low internet connection, or if you know they're in a country that generally doesn't have good internet connection. Otherwise use banner ads, because they'll get better impressions, they'll get better click-through rates, generally you'll get more money. So now when I click this, we get this little thing that pops up. I'm going to click yes, and again, because this testing mode is activated, it just takes me to this little thing right here. But if I were to click no, the app continues. So that's it. It's that simple to use RevMob using our Sonar Cocos helper. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on sonarlearning.co.uk/questions.php. The link will be in the description, so you don't need to put it in your brain and remember it. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.